Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my God. It's so perfect, y'all. This is so perfect. Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm so glad to see y'all here, and yay, Christmas music indeed. Okay, so I am so excited to be finishing the fantasy self-portrait tonight, as you can see up here on my side program. Oh, it's going to be so awesome. We've already made so much awesome progress on it. So tonight we're going to be doing shading and details and that little surprise that I mentioned with the wings. Oh, thank y'all for being here, and it's almost Christmas. It's Yuletide. It's almost Christmas. It's the holidays. I thought I'd just, bring us a little holiday cheer with some fun Christmas music while y'all were in the waiting room. I'm glad y'all enjoyed that. And I am in my very festive outfit this evening. It is one of my silver sark dresses, and I have one of my cute little Paradise Rose cupcake necklaces. Of course, very Christmassy. I have a ton of them. Okay, so I think where I want to get started is I want to get started on that surprise I talked about with the wings. I think that's where I want to start this. Just get right into it. And what we're going to do is we are going to make the wings look like they're on fire. It's going to be really cool. I'm really excited. So we're going to make these edges look like they're singed. This is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for this, y'all. So we're going to do a little bit of experimenting. It's a while since I drew like fire. So this is a little bit of experimenting here. Figure this out, figure out how it works. And the effect that I'm trying to go for right now is just that really glowy effect that you get like when you look at a campfire. I'm trying to achieve that. And a little bit more. Ooh, that's looking good. That's looking like it's on fire. I love it. I am loving this. This is looking fantastic. Oh, I just love it when things they end up looking the way it is, like in my brain. Like, I feel like that's the struggle that every creative person has, is I need to take the vision out of my head and make it be reality. That is what being a creative person is all about. We're gonna do just the tips, just the tippity tips. And I found this is like the best way to do complex shading is just doing lots of layering and just working your way up, just layer, layer, layer to get where you need to be. It's a slower process, but I feel like it just makes it look more real. This is what we've got so far. It looks so pretty. I love it. And again, this is like total experimentation, just seeing what happens with this. Don't necessarily know I'm gonna like what's happening. We're gonna see. Fire is a very difficult thing to draw accurately. It's just so elemental and free form. It has no real structure. It's really easy to mess up. Oh, you know what? I know why it doesn't look right. Duh. Because fire goes outward. I had it backwards. That's what we were doing wrong, y'all. Okay, we got this. This is a big part of why I love digital media is I'm able to just like experiment, and if something doesn't work, I can just hit that undo button, or I can just delete a layer and just try again. And it really helps just take away that stress of that you have to absolutely, get it perfect, or you have to like experiment with other materials ahead of time and decide what you're going to do. Otherwise, you can just totally ruin a whole painting doing this kind of thing. It's not really what fire looks like. Okay, new plan. Oh, oops, I totally forgot to do this side. I'm a dork. Yeah, there was one year when I was living with my parents and I had the cats with me, and Lady was determined to live in the Christmas tree. She would like climb up in it and try to like make a nest in it. Because she's only like, 6 pounds, it's not really a big deal. Like she wasn't really hurting anything, but the problem was that because she did it, then Squishy was like, I want in the tree. So that was terrifying, having a 35-pound cat try to climb a Christmas tree. Not the safest thing. I tend to use a lot of red in my art. I like red. My favorite color is actually pink. But in terms of my art, I like to use red a lot in everything, all the time. It's all part of learning. Just, learn what the different stuff means. There is no stupid here. There's just learning. So the Christmas tradition that my family has, like me and my parents and my little brother, is we would actually celebrate our Christmas on Christmas Eve. Just us. And we would like go out to dinner, and that would usually include our Aunt Sue, and then we would go to Mass together, and we would like open up all our presents and do all that stuff on Christmas Eve. And we started that tradition because on Christmas Day, we have Christmas with my dad's side of the family. So like all my aunts and uncles and cousins and all that stuff. And because that's an all-day thing, when we were kids growing up, it was kind of upsetting because we would have to wake up early to like open our Christmas presents on Christmas Day. And it was kind of like, okay, kids, you don't have any time to play with any of the stuff that you just got because we have to leave all your presents here and then go to your relatives to go open more Christmas presents, which you aren't going to get much time to play with until you get back home, because we would open Christmas presents at our relative's house like later in the day, like after lunch and stuff. So you didn't really get to actually play with anything until like the 26th. And it was always so crazy. And like it was just like you have all these presents, you have all this stuff to play with, and you can't play with any of it. It was just the craziest thing. So we changed that tradition so that we could actually like enjoy our presents, and also, as we got older too, like actually enjoy, spending Christmas with each other. Because when I was a kid, like Christmas was just all of this crazy hurry up. Like Christmas was like so crazy and stressful because, ooh, I forgot I have to put that under that. Okay, there we go. But yeah, Christmas was just so crazy and stressful, especially when I was a little kid, because we did like, I think it was something like 5 Christmases, just back to back to back, all of the Christmas. And like, as a kid, like that sounds amazing because like, oh my God, you have like a million Christmases, you get so many toys, you get so many presents, you get, so much candy and so much food and so much everything. But it's also really stressful because you're just constantly traveling and you're just constantly in the car and you don't really have any time to like actually play with any of your presents. So it was like the first week of Christmas vacation was literally just all this traveling and all this Christmas and Christmas here and Christmas there. And then the second week of Christmas vacation, you actually got to sit down and play with your stuff. And I'm sure it was like even more stressful for my parents because, I was just a little kid just sitting in the backseat of the car with my 8 bazillion toys. And, they were the ones actually driving everywhere and having to keep track of, where we were supposed to be and making sure all the right people got all the right stuff. And oh my God. I'm glad we don't do all that anymore because it's a lot. It's just a lot. But now I feel like this year is kind of the opposite, where there's like no Christmas at all. I don't like that either. It is sad. I would like a little bit of Christmas, smidgen of Christmas. That would be nice. A smidgen of Christmas, please. But yeah, Christmas as a kid was just wild. And I know, memory is flawed, so I don't remember it 100% correctly. But from what I remember, it was like we would start with Christmas with my mom's side of the family on the farm, and we would have Christmas at the farmhouse with my great grandparents. And then we would have Christmas like with my cousins on the farm. And then we would drive out to the Quad Cities and we would have Christmas with my grandfather, my mom's dad. And we would be there for a couple of days. And then we would drive home, and like it was basically like on Christmas Eve we would be at my grandfather's house until like the afternoon, because then we would have to drive back home. But we wouldn't like get home, we had to immediately go to church to go to mass on Christmas Eve. And when I was really little, I was just asleep. Like, my dad would just hold me during mass, and I was just like asleep for it because, we just already had like 2 or 3 Christmases and like driven all the way to church, and it was just crazy. So I was exhausted. And then we'd wake up early the next morning to open like our presents, like the presents my parents had gotten me and, Santa had gotten me. But, you didn't have any time to play with any of your presents because then you had to hurry up and get dressed and get ready to go have Christmas with my dad's side of the family and do that Christmas all day and then open those presents and then get home at like, 11 o'clock midnight at night, on Christmas Day. And then, my poor parents just, would collapse and just be asleep all day on the 26th. And then that was when it was finally, my Christmas, where I finally got to play with all my toys like all day. And it was just like the entire house just looked like it had exploded because there's just toys everywhere. And I'm just like, play with all the 8 million presents I just got. Holy crap. Oh my God. Just way too much Christmas. So much Christmas when I was a little kid. Oh my God. As we like, as I got older, like we kind of scaled back like how much Christmas we did, and we kind of like combined different like parts of Christmas just to make it less crazy. You want to say hi? Do you want to say hi to everybody? Oh, oh, she's huffy. It's a pretty kitty. It's lady. It's my baby. Okay, we're being a little grouchy today. We're being a little grouchy today. Oh, you're tangled up. You're tangled up. Here we go. I love you, baby. She's been very needy today. She's like, Mommy, I need all of the attention. Yes, I love you. I love you so much. You are tiny and old. Am I the only one whose family made you accept less presents as you got older? Like, ooh, she don't need that. And I'm like, it's for me. Of course I need it. Um, I think like the correlation between more presents and fewer presents as I got older was really more to do with what I asked for, like, what kind of stuff I wanted for Christmas rather than just like sheer number of presents. So, like, as a little kid, of course, I wanted toys. Like, I wanted like Barbies and Littlest Pet Shops and all that stuff. And, that stuff isn't very expensive. Whereas when I got older and I like, I wanted a Game Boy and I wanted, PlayStation games and stuff like that, like, that's more expensive. So I got fewer presents because the presents were more expensive, if that makes sense. All right, this is definitely looking so much more like fire, like what it's supposed to look like. I love it. Oh, I love where this is going. See what this looks like. It's looking hella cool, but it's still not quite there yet. On that. Oh, y'all, there it is. There it is. Oh, gorgeous. A lot of my artwork has been this year is me just challenging and growing my skills with forcing myself to draw architecture, learning how to draw different textures like water and fire, just all of that. Because I've learned, how to do a lot of this stuff in other mediums, especially painting. But it's different when you have to learn it in a new medium. You kind of have to like reinvent the wheel to learn how to create the same thing, but with a different medium because it behaves differently. So like if I were to paint fire like on acrylic canvas, that would be so easy for me to do, and watercolor would be even easier. But using digital art like this, like that's a whole other thing. So we went on that journey together and we are victorious. We have made fire. Ooh, you know what it reminds me of? Like the really old-fashioned Disney animation art, like the fire from Bambi. Like I feel like that's what this looks like. Glow it up. Ooh. I don't know where my mouse went. Oh, yes. Oh, it's perfect. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my God. It's so perfect, y'all. This is so perfect. Oh my God. I am so excited. It looks so perfect. This is gorgeous. I am so here for it. Wow. Of my ADHD and my OCD, I can like just go into this absolute zone of hyper focus where like I forget about everything, the whole world around me, and that's why I have like 8 million alarms on my phone to remind me to like get up and stretch and like go eat a food, and if I have laundry going and stuff like that. Otherwise, I will just sit here just glued to what I'm doing, and it's just like, 10 hours could pass and I have no idea. Just in the zone. But it's only with like certain tasks, and sometimes I can't even make it work for those certain tasks. Like there's sometimes I'll be sitting here and I'll have to like work on a drawing and I just can't get in the zone at all, and I'm just distracted. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't feel like doing this right now, and it's like pulling teeth. And other times it's like, what year is it? I've been drawing for so long, I have no idea what's going on. One of those weird brain things. Can sometimes harness it to your advantage, and other times you can't make it do what you want it to do. How much detail and shading I'm going to be putting into a piece depends on like, is that the direction that I want to go with this piece visually? And then also, how much time do I want to devote to this piece? Or how much time do I have to devote to this piece, especially if it's like, a commission or it's for like a project with a deadline or something like that. I may not have all the time that I want to spend on it, so I have to simplify and cut corners where I can. And when I say cut corners, I don't necessarily mean like doing a sloppy job or anything like that. It's more so like figuring out ways to simplify the work that I'm doing while still achieving a great visual. So cutting corners doesn't always have to be a bad thing. It's just, if you don't have enough time to finish something, you don't. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't invent more time to finish a project. It's not how it works, unfortunately. It kind of taught me the difference of how long simple and how long detailed actually takes me. Like, it doesn't matter what arbitrary deadline I want to make for myself. If it's physically impossible, it's physically impossible. I can't do an incredibly detailed drawing like this in 3 hours. That's just not going to happen. As we saw, we started this last Saturday and we drew for 3 hours and we didn't finish. And here we are this Saturday and we're already an hour and a half in and it's still not finished. So, it takes how long it takes. And I'm still learning and growing, and I'm learning how to draw faster and I'm learning how to do these techniques faster. But that still doesn't change the fact that there's a big difference between what I can accomplish in 3 hours and what I can accomplish in 30 hours. Oop. Went off the rails there. That happens sometimes. My hand will get tired and it'll just be like, blah, drawing over here. Ooh, that is looking good. That is looking so pretty. I'm loving it. Okay. We are done with the wings, y'all. They are all shaded and pretty and glorious. And this is also kind of where shading can get out of control, where like you can just shade and shade and shade and shade. You really can. And you have to know where to stop, where to say that is sufficient. Back when I was in high school, where they were like purely shading projects, like that was the whole point of the project, was just a shade. And I would sometimes just get so into just meta shading something where it just looked completely crazy because I just shaded the out of it and there was like no actual like medium color left. It was just all highlights and shading and shadows. And at that point, it just doesn't even look real anymore. It just looks crazy. Got all the spots. Everything is shaded. I think we're done. I think we did it. It's a drawing. This is the drawing. It's so beautiful. Wow. It turned out exactly the way I envisioned. This is exactly what I wanted. It's gorgeous. I learned some new techniques doing it, which is even better. This is fantastic. I've gotten pumped up. I'm going to do it. Next week is going to start every Thursday. Well, every Thursday that I feel like it anyway. Hopefully every Thursday, but we'll see how it goes with my schedule. I will be playing on my Nintendo Switch live for y'all, so kind of, switch things up a little bit different, get some gaming in there, and yeah, I hope y'all will tune in to that, watch me play some video games. I plan on playing the new Pikmin 3. I've already been playing it a bit on my own, but I plan on starting a new save file so that y'all can, start that journey fresh with me and we can play with the little Pikmins and grow them. I love them so much. They're so cute and they make me happy. So yeah, that's what I've got, and I hope y'all have a fantastic holiday, whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or Yule, or if you celebrate some other holiday. I know there's about 20 different holidays during the winter season, so, you know, I wish you a very safe, happy holiday. I hope that you're able to socially distance, Zoom, whatever, with your loved ones. Make good choices, be safe, and I'll see you out there. Bye bye. Thank you.